Hello everyone. After 5 long years, I would like to welcome you back to Sport Report. I'm your host, MSU fan, and our first story today is the Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks in the first round of the NBA playoffs. That's right, the Pistons are back in the playoffs. I don't think it's a secret that the Pistons didn't have the best season last year. But here we are, we live in the moment, they're in the playoffs. I know personally, they have exceeded all my expectations. I was hoping for at least a play-in. Here they are, the 6th seed, going up against the Knicks. This should be an interesting series, but during the regular season, the Pistons did get the best of the Knicks. In 4 games against the Knicks, Cade Cunningham averaged 30 points, 56% field goal shooting, and 52% behind the arc. That's not to say the Knicks didn't have any success. Jalen Brunson only had 1 game scoring under 30 points and only 1 game shooting under 50% from the field. Along with that, they also have home court advantage in this series, and Madison Square Garden is notoriously known for being a tough place to play. However, JB Bickerstaff was quoted as saying, "If you're prepared, you shouldn't be nervous." And that tells me all I need to know. I'm not nervous. Give me the Pistons in 6 games. No doubts about it. You heard it here first. I truly believe if the Pistons can overcome the hostile environment, ignore whatever Spike Lee has to say to them and the moment, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to win this series. I think it is important to note that this is many of our players' first time in the playoffs. So they're going to have to take some adjusting to get used to the environment and the magnitude of the games. I think regardless of the result, regardless of where they end up this year, they will have a lot more experience under their belt and be built for more success in the future. I do want to talk about how important it is to change the culture for sports teams. I think there was this idea for a very long time that Detroit was a place where you go to lose games and not really win anything. I think the first person to really change the mindset in Detroit sports was Dan Campbell. Everyone has seen Dan Campbell's opening conference where he says we're going to bite some kneecaps off and embody the city. Well, he really meant that in the fact of he's changed what it meant to be a Detroit Lion. I think JB Bickerstaff has done a similar thing for the Detroit Pistons. He came in with the mantra of do work. Do your job and you'll see the rewards. You'll see the benefits. You'll see the results. And we really have. To close out, I do think the Pistons have enough to win this series. The Knicks are obviously more experienced. They have a lot of talent and they're going to be tough. In other news, the Tigers play the Royals today. They should either be playing or the game will be done by the time this video is out. The Tigers are coming into this game winning their previous 2 against the Royals. They are currently number 1 in the AL Central and in 3rd overall. And they have a 12-8 record. Kansas City is 3rd in the AL Central, and they have an 8-13 record. The Tigers are off to a great start. In fact, a historically great start. This is the 3rd best start to a season in the last 40 years for them. The tip of the cap of the episode has to go to Spencer Torkelson. I think it's fair to say he struggled last year. I think even he would say that. But instead of getting down on himself, he asked himself, what can I do to improve my game? What can I do to get better? How can I change my approach? Last season, he totaled only 10 home runs. He already has 6 home runs in 20 games this season. That deserves a tip of the cap. To close out, I do want to touch on some MSU basketball news. They just landed Trey Fort from Sanford. He averaged 14 points per game on 38% from behind the arc. I think it's clear that Tom Izzo is focusing on needs, and this is another need filled. Michigan State has lost some talent in the offseason due to transfers and the draft. So this is another step to reloading and rebuilding for another championship. Before I end the episode, I do want to talk about a couple things about what I plan for the show and where my head's at. First and foremost, I'm only going to talk about stuff that I want to talk about. Not that that's any different from the first sport report, but there might be some big news that I miss that you're like, why didn't he talk about this? Or you were like super looking forward to hearing from me for some reason. If you really do want to hear me talk about something, leave it in the comments below. Second, there might be times where I'm talking out my behind. I'm not going to claim to know everything, nor will I ever. And I'm also very biased in the teams that I like. So I might say stuff to push a certain agenda, and I apologize. But these are truly my thoughts and how I feel. Finally, I want to let you know how often I plan on releasing sport reports. It's gonna sound really bad, but I'm going to set the bar at 1 video a month.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Please don't be mad. That is not my goal. My goal is at least 1 episode a week. The only reason I'm setting the bar so low is because I have consistency issues. If you look back at the last song I released, in the description it says album soon. I think it's been like 2 years since that video came out, and I don't close any doors, but I don't think an album is coming out anytime soon. And that's about all I wanted to say. I thank you for your patience. I know it's been 5 long years. Maybe somebody out there's been waiting every day for 5 years for one of these uploads to come out. If you're that person, I am truly sorry. I hope you're patient with me in the fact that I want to improve at this. I know that this video is probably going to turn out horrible, but I thank you for watching, and God bless.